This is a clear tape case with a white cover. It obviously is a homemade tape. Well, I mean, not homemade, but like it was made for someone. The front says the 40-year poem for the 40-year thaw, Ballad of Chosen by Frank G. Gross, Korea 1950, Las Vegas 1990. On the spine, it says Ballad of the Chosen, FGG01. And then on the back little flap, it says 40-year poem for the 40-year thaw. All of this is in like Old English type. And then when you look at the cassette itself, it's a clear cassette. The middle portion that covers up the spools is dark gray. Like I say, it's clear, and it says Ballad of Chosen by Frank G. Gross. It says recorded at AKA Studio, 270 Lincoln Avenue, Franklinville, New Jersey, 08322. And I believe it's the same thing on both sides. Enjoy.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory.
Oh, the nights are cold in Korean soil, but the night's been cold before. And it's not so hard in your own backyard to be set for peace or war. But in history, there's a chapter of a place called Valley Forge, repeated one December on the Chosen Reservoir. They had us all surrounded. I could hear them scream and yell. My feelings at that moment, no tongue could ever tell. I saw the bursting mortar shells and the bullets around me flew as all my strength had left me and all my courage too. But with the breaking of the morning and just before the dawn, I heard the sound of bugles and the big attack was on. The cotton-quilted uniforms against the bullet spree and the screaming, yelling banzai. They called the human sea.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't rap, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.
Baby faces bearded and chapped with hardened mud. Parkers that were dirty and stained with frozen blood. Here a bunch of youngsters who fought unto the end in a battle of the chosen, where boys were changed to men. 12 long miles of convoy was headed for the sea, roadblocks at every turning, down through Coterie. The frostbite and the wounded and the dead and dying too. No matter what the objective be, these boys were going through. The captain, he informed us, perhaps he thought it right, that before we reached the river, boys, we're going to have to fight. But we're going out like Marines in an organized withdrawal, and no matter what the rumors say, it's no retreat at all. We fought at least 9 hours before the strife was o'er, and the like of dead and wounded I've never seen before. But the everlasting promise kept along each bloody yard. No one leaves behind the wounded, 'cause there ain't no fight that hard. The chaplain collected dog tags, in his hands was quite a few. There was Captain Smith, McCluskey's, and Corporal Bryan's too. And before we reached the river and fought our way back through, the sergeant had the dog tags, and he had the chaplain's too. If I made you pause one moment and take a little time, then I know it wasn't just in vain that I put these words to rhyme. For there's just too many people who take it all in stride, who hear these tales of battles and then cast it all aside. But the nights are cold in Korean soil, and the night's been cold before. And it's not so hard in your own backyard to be set for peace or war. In history, there's a chapter, and they called it Valley Forge, was repeated one December on the Chosen Reservoir.
Frozen, Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about Frozen, Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach,
And I'm Mike.
and we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros Foes Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Frozen, Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about Frozen, Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't rap, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.